Yes. All right, everybody. I got my man Mark with me. Mark, you have been with me since the very beginning of my online coaching, man. Literally as soon as I started my online coaching mastermind business over a year ago, over about 1.3 years ago, man, you were the first to join and to sign on, man. So really stoked for you, and you've had a lot of transformation internally, mindset, externally, whole nine yards. And a lot of that has come from dude, you just being an action taker, like you
Mhm.
sincerely just implementing, you doing the work, saying, Coach Drew, what do I got to do? Sweet, and you do it, right?
Right.
But I just want to kind of talk to you and share with those who will be watching, just kind of like where you were before, how things have been for you, and then we'll go from there. Okay. So ultimately, Mark, can you kind of give us an understanding about like, hey, before you joined, where were you kind of in your fitness and your wellness journey?
Prior to me joining, all I had was just people who are really, really fit, and I asked for their advice. It worked for a little bit, and I was able to lose a substantial amount of weight. I lost around like 40, 50 pounds, but the issue was I was never at the point of, I always kept plateauing,
Mm-hmm.
and around the holidays and stuff, I just gained like a massive amount of weight, and then I just lose it again. It was really unhealthy. So I joined the academy around January of last year, and I was like, okay, look, let me just get something permanent. I'm done with this back and forth. And prior to me joining, along on top of that, I guess I never noticed this until I was like within the program. I just really was mentally immature, so to speak. Like I constantly gave
Mm-hmm.
up, made excuses just for like
Right.
anything in general, not just fitness. And I wasn't at a mature mindset, so to speak.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. Gotcha. So basically, you kind of yo-yoed back and forth. You would get some results, and then you would lose it during the holidays or
Mhm.
something along those lines. And the mindset, mentally, you said you were just kind of like a little immature, and so you didn't really have a lot of growth going on in your mindset. So when you joined the academy, it was literally the end of December 2018, over a year ago, and here as of this recording, it's March 8th, I think, March 8th of 2020. So you've been with me for literally like 1.3 years. And so can you just kind of give us an idea of just how things have gone for you? Can you just kind of tell us your experience, the transformation that you have seen internally, externally, the whole nine yards since you've joined the program over a year ago?
Externally, I'm a lot more stronger, a lot more faster, a lot more fitter. A lot of the stuff that I used to wear doesn't fit me anymore. I
Mm-hmm.
remember 3 or 4 months in, I had to like keep changing my wardrobe because all the clothes that didn't fit in me anymore, and the clothes that did fit me, they're just too loose to the point where they're actually pajamas now.
Right.
Externally, it's like I look better, feel better. Internally, I had like the most change. I felt
Mm-hmm.
a progression of I was way more tougher, more mentally agile, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Never gave up.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's kind of weird because I never noticed how much of a change it would be. Joining the program, I thought, I'd look like this fitness model, those people you see on Instagram. Well, one of the biggest changes that I also realized was that my motivation for being physically fit was just to look good for others.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, towards as I was completing the program, yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, I still look like physically that good, where I have no problem taking off my shirt. It's just the issue is now is that I'm doing this more for myself rather than others, and I think that's the biggest thing.
Doesn't sound like an issue.
Yeah, no, it isn't an issue.
Exactly. So you're kind of your motivation, like you said, your motivation has changed, right? So it went from,
Yes,
hey, I want to look good for others, to say, hey, I'm doing this for me, right? Or
right.
I'm transforming and I'm improving because it's better for me. And Mark, I actually remember, I remember you messaged me. I checked in on you. I think it was about 10 months ago when you first, within the first few months you joined. And I remember I
Uh-huh.
checked in on you, and this is, as you're in the National Guard, right? So
Right.
I remember you had this test coming up, and we were prepping you for it a little bit. And I remember that you sent me a message one day. I remember this like it was yesterday. And you sent me a message and you said, Coach, like I did, dude, like I crushed my test, man. I crushed my test. And I remember like when we were writing it on the Blackhawk, right? You said usually you would be kind of nervous, freaking out a little bit, maybe a little bit of like anxious and anxiety. But you told me that, hey, from a little bit of the mindset work that we've done, you went in, you were right on that Blackhawk, and you're like, I got this. Like I'm
Mhm.
gonna crush it, right?
So the test, I mean, so the Blackhawk was just fun. The real test was I'm a medic. I'm a 60th Whiskey combat medic in the
Mhm.
National Guard. And so the test was just to recertify my skills. It wasn't something that I don't know. I'm well aware of it. But the issue was, I mean, I still struggle to a degree to this day. My stress level would hit me, and then I would have this really negative mindset talk, and then we go to a downward spiral of
Mhm.
I don't know what I'm doing, all this other stuff. You can't do this, and it just starts going downhill from there. But as I'm going in, the weird mindset activities that we did like every week, it actually did help to the point of, just do it, and to the point of holy crap, I actually did it. The
Mhm.
physician assistant said, "Oh, it was actually one of the best she saw out of the entire class," which was awesome. And
Yeah.
even after that test, it was still there in the sense. I remember I went to NCO Academy. I had this physical fitness test. I was freaking out because I live in California. The test is in Utah. I was in Utah stationed at the time. I
Mhm.
was freaking out because the altitude was extremely different. I was able to pass regardless, and keep like fast forward every now and then. It's still there, but I'm just with the mindset exercises that the academy offer, I was
Mhm.
able to get it under control. I still
That's
feel it
awesome.
to this day.
Mhm.
I saw that negative self-doubt. However, because we've been doing these mindset activities, it's just shut up and do it. And I end
Right.
up crushing it. Like I think it was 2 weeks ago, we had an army physical fitness test of 2 minutes of push-ups, 2 minutes of sit-ups, and a 2 mile run. I had that self-doubt, but then I'm at the point of okay, just do it, just do it, just do it. And surprise, that is the
Right.
highest PT score I've ever had ever in my six
Heck
years.
yeah, man. Yeah, that's awesome. So ultimately, it's like, hey, of course, we're still human beings. We're still gonna have sometimes that
Mhm.
self doubt, but it's like you're equipped to combat that fear, right? You're equipped to
Mhm.
tackle that and to kind of get it under control, right? So,
Right.
dude, like, that's awesome stuff. So, Mark, like I said, man, you've been with me for over a year now. You've had well enough time in the academy, in the program, and just the mastermind and the coaching. So, you know, if someone's watching this and they've been on the fence or they're just on the fence about maybe hiring a coach or really making that investment to get a quality program to a quality coaching, and they're just kind of debating whether they should or not or what's the best fit for them, what would you tell them?
I'd say this isn't a guarantee, and I'm not discouraging them, so to speak. Th- This program only will work if you put in. If you put in the amount of time and effort needed, you'll have the right results. I wasn't able to get the results because I needed the right direction. All this program offers is direction. If you have the drive and energy for it, you'll do great. If you don't have it, I wouldn't recommend this program because a lot of people, I mean, just fitness in general, you see a lot of people, New Year's resolution comes up, I want to do this, all this other stuff. They don't have the direction and then they crash. It's the same thing with this program. If you don't have the drive or energy for it, you're not going to do well. But if you want to do well, then this program is the right fit for you.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Now, look, just kind of a note on that, Mark. Now, do you feel like that within the program, like you do get though, it's one thing to have drive and all that stuff, but
Mhm.
would you agree that, hey, like you do get accountability, you have that support in your corner, to help you maintain momentum?
Yeah, it's doing things by yourself. You can never succeed by yourself. You always need other people around you. You always need other people to keep you in check, so to speak. I mean, we can say accountability. I This does give me accountability. A more better way to say it is that you have other people watching you and observing you. So you can't just crush a workout, and all of a sudden go eat a cheesecake the next day.
Hmm.
This
Coach Drew will message
community,
you.
as bad as you want to, don't get me wrong, the this program really does help. It does offer that assistance, extra boost that you need, because if you're trying to lose weight or trying to get healthier by yourself, you're not going to succeed. You need other people around you. You need other people who are just as struggling, who understand what you're going through, and at the end of the day, people that are willing to be around you and help you out, as
Hmm.
opposed to people who encourage you to either just be yourself, like be yourself, as in you shouldn't push yourself,
Hmm.
versus people who are going to say, hey, we know you can do better, so now push it.
Mm-hmm. Mark, real quick, last question for you, man, is that,
Mhm.
I know a lot of people personally who are like, one of my biggest fears is that I'm not going to have enough, attention. I'm going to hire a coach, but they're going to ignore me or avoid me, or I'm not going to ever hear from them again. So can you kind of just speak to that person and just your experience and with me working with you inside the program? Like, how has that experience been for you with getting attention from me and just me communicating with you in the whole 9 yards?
It's how do I say this? It's a really good way. What makes this interesting is the fact that you have somebody behind your shoulder saying like, hey, don't do this, don't do that. Don't binge eat, or don't go nuts on carbs, or go over your caloric limit. To someone who's a bit hesitant, or someone who's concerned about it, it's only for the first couple of months or weeks. Afterwards, once you start getting into the flow and rhythm of it,
Mm-hmm.
now it's something sustainable. I'm at the point where I don't necessarily need to count my calories anymore, because I'm fully well aware of, okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is too much. Okay, this is too little. Okay, I
Exactly.
need to cut this down. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I need to sleep more. Okay, I need to work out more.
Definitely, definitely. And that's really what it is about. It's about, hey, having the amount of accountability and coaching to get you to the point where you're just more aware and you're eating, you're focused on intuitiveness rather than specifically tracking day in and day out. And obviously,
Right.
depending on the goal, that tracking is needed, but the more sustainable way is to just focus on that intuitiveness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Mark, thanks for hopping on today, brother.
Anytime.
I appreciate you, man. I love you to death. I've loved working with you and seeing how far you've transformed, man. It's been a pleasure, and you will always have a special place in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be. I'm so proud of you, and I can't wait to see how far you go in your military career and so forth and so on, man. So thanks for hopping on today.
Anytime. Thanks for having me.
Of course.